Hi, my friends. Welcome to Sort of Brilliant, a show where the characters are made up and the sorting absolutely does matter. My name is Rachel.
And I'm her best friend and co-host, Lauren. Every other week, we're going to invade a fandom and determine whether your favorite character belongs in Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin.
We're the Harry Potter podcast that talks way more about any other franchise.
Here, we use the sorting structure from Harry Potter as a common language without supporting the author or her beliefs. As for the sorting itself, there's bound to be some arguments along the way.
But in the end, we're always right.
According to us.
According to us.
Wow.
Close enough. Fine. It's not for us. I've learned.
You still don't know what it's for, so...
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you figured it out?
Yeah.
It's the same reason they have a clapboard. It's so that you can, mark where the audio spikes.
Thank you for explaining it in a way that was really easy to follow. No one else has ever...
I don't understand how you
Rachel.
did not get that I was hitting record at a different time than you were, and therefore we couldn't say, Hannah, at 102 of everybody's recording, it starts. It could be at 102 of mine and 105 of yours, and that's why she needs the clap, so she can start.
All of that was
time.
Charlie Brown noise, and all you had to do was the slapstick thing that Illy just said.
I don't need to be understood by stupid people, so
that
fine.
Explained it
oh my
really
God,
well.
that escalated quickly.
I love how this is the start of the
she's
episode.
So fucking wrong, it's not even funny.
Hannah,
It could be the start of the
out
episode.
all the vitriol.
Nah,
It's not going anywhere.
it needs to stay. It makes it interesting. Gives it some spice.
Did I ever tell you that I thought that the Salt Bay guy was Robert Downey Jr. until 2 years ago or whatever?
That's fair. Kind of looked like him.
I can't wait for Hannah to listen to that.
See, that should have been in the episode.
It is in the episode. Didn't the episode start?
The episode did
No.
start.
It did.
We did the
Why
clap.
didn't you start it?
We did the clap. It started.
We did the... Okay. I'm going to introduce you now.
Rachel's like, that's not how that works, Hailee.
I'm just going to...
The episode starts when I say it starts.
Okay. Welcome back to Sort of Brilliant, where the characters are fake. It's all made up, but their houses do matter. I'm Rachel, and I'm a Gryffindor. And we have a full castle, as the kids like to say today. So, where's our Slytherin at?
Hello. That was a very good Drew
Moving on
Carey
from her.
impression. What? Excuse me?
Because me and Lauren are fighting right now, as you'll hear later.
I was waiting for you to do the exact cadence of Drew Carey, and you didn't, so I was kind of upset about it.
I would say sorry, but I'm mad at you, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
Where is the Hufflepuff at?
What up? It's me,
What up?
your favorite puff. Whoop whoop.
And the Ravenclaw?
Hey, it's me. Overthinking things since 1989.
Woo! Good year. Good Taylor Swift album. Good stuff. That was Illy, by the way. She didn't tell you her name.
I didn't say my name either.
Neither did Hailee.
No, you didn't. You know what, Hailee, though? I was reading it on the Zoom, and I read Hailee as you were talking, and I was like, done. I recognized it, so.
I mean, to be fair, Lauren didn't introduce herself either. I know it's her podcast. It's y'all's podcast, but,
I hope people recognize what my voice sounds like by now. If they don't,
Nope.
I can't help them. I don't know what to do
You don't
for
think
them.
they do? I think we sound very different.
I do
We're
too.
biased.
you do.
I don't know if people have ever connected our names to our voices, though. Maybe they think I've been Rachel all along.
Oh, it's scary.
I've actually had this problem on a different podcast of trying to figure out which one is based on their
Yeah.
voice, and then I always get them backwards.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's happened to me
no.
too. And I've listened to other podcasts where they're like, and I'm this one and I'm that one for those of you who don't know. And then they talk and I forget again. Can't do it without the visual stimulation, But I'm going to just go ahead and say that people can tell me and Lauren apart because we're super famous and really well known. So it's not a problem at all.
For our Supernatural podcast?
Yeah, for our super. We could just start every sentence with Rachel here to that point and then, move on from that. That would be fine. All right. So last time that Illy and Hailee were here. Okay, so this is going to be a problem, guys, because both of the shows that we talked about last time, we're talking about tonight, are 911, right? They both have 911 in the front and center.
This
of
is
the title,
911
yes?
Lonestar.
This episode is about Lonestar. The last one was, is it just 911 on Fox?
It's just 911 in general.
Just 911.
And they're in
The-
New York.
This is the spinoff.
They're not in New York. They're in LA.
No one's in New York.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
They
actually,
used to be in New York.
No.
This guy did.
Lonestar. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
She's got tunnel vision on Owen right now. You must understand. She can't get it off her head. She's like seething. So we'll get to that. Just like try to, let it go for a minute.
In casual conversation, folks usually just refer to this as Lonestar. We drop the 911.
Oh. Yeah, that's fair.
Normally, to differentiate, we do OG versus Lone Star.
Yep.
Okay. Is this one also on Fox?
Yes.
No, it's a different network.
So 911 Lone Star on Fox? Is that
No, they're just Lone Star.
911 on
All
Fox because you can't just hashtag or at 911 because that's 911.
Do you know, my husband got a video game once that was 911 and like you had to take the calls and get the dispatch and everything out really, really quick. And it was the most depressing game ever. And he paid like $20 for it.
Wait. No. There's enough real life in real life. I don't need that in video games.
I know. Yeah, it sucked. And I was like, oh, this is going to be really fun. And immediately it was like, I regret this and I could never do this job. This is horrible. Oof.
I will say the lady doing the 911 dispatch on Lone Star, from what I saw, Grace was her name? Yes?
She's amazing.
Yes. She was awesome. I loved her. Rachel and I actually got very mad at you two that we weren't sorting any of the women because they, in our opinion, were much better than any of the people we had to sort.
This is fair.
Grace is the best character on the entire damn show.
The two female paramedics were fucking awesome too.
Yeah.
Yes. We didn't know that we don't know enough about Nancy. We can't sort Nancy yet.
We don't know a lot about Nancy.
Or Tom.
Was she the younger one?
Yes.
Okay.
How many seasons are there?
2. We are in
Okay.
the 3rd one now. And then Tommy just showed up in season 2.
I see.
That's
Which one was
Gina
he?
Torres.
Was he the 12-year-old? Oh,
no, Tommy is Gina Torres.
Oh, okay.
Is there crossover between this and the original show?
There is one, and then there's scheduled to be another one soon.
So it's like a Grey's Anatomy thing in that new firefighter show that they're doing.
But like they didn't know each other beforehand.
Oh.
Crossover was like there was a wildfire, oddly enough, in Texas, not in California, where they actually usually experience wildfires. And so the LA crew came down to help them.
Okay.
It was a wildfire because of a volcano. We aren't going to talk about it.
Yeah, there was a volcano in Texas, which apparently can happen. There's lava everywhere, so there's that.
Mm-hmm. That is true. It's beneath the Earth's crust.
Just like don't walk on it and you'll be fine.
So we'll spoiler alert. The next episode. Oh, I'm sorry. The episodes before this in the podcast chronology. I don't know, was Friends, but in our actual real life time, we're recording this before we do Friends. So currently I'm watching Friends, and my mom has taken to sitting with me and watching Friends every night. So I went down there tonight, she's like, ooh, are you going to turn on Friends? I was like, no, I'm going to watch 911 Lone Star. And she was like, okay, I'll watch this with you. And she's like a huge, I think we talked about this during the 911 episode. She's a huge ER person. So she was like, are you going to get me hooked on another? I was like, I don't know. It's going to be like 2 random ass episodes. And she watched the whole thing with me. And she was like, these soap operas with their drama that just connects so miraculously. Like that first episode you guys gave us to 8. I don't remember the title, but where it was like the same case that the paramedics and the firefighters and the policemen were also like all connected on the same case. She's like, this just wouldn't happen in real life. So I was like, what? What in ER would have happened in real life?
Lava in Texas is very, very like totally could happen.
We don't talk about the inaccuracies of Lone Star because
suspend your disbelief.
The medical in OG 911 is bad enough. The medical in Lone Star is really bad. Really, really.
Yeah, those ladies just like shoved something random up at that dude's stomach and then his chest stopped bleeding and he got up and shot someone. I was like, hey, good for him.
It's to the point where, so I think everybody knows Hailee is a nurse, but I am not. I just play a doctor on TV because I watch so much, like I watch ER and Grey's Anatomy, like I watch all the medical dramas. So it's gotten to the point where if I watch the episode before Hailee, I have to like warn her. I'm like, you're going to throw something at the television. This is terrible.
Illy, did you watch House?
I did.
So the TK's mom.
Yes.
I was like, hello, hi.
Yes. Lisa
I love her.
Edelstein. Yes, love her.
Where'd I know Grace's husband from?
I was telling Lauren
True
that,
Blood.
like,
That's
Hoyt.
He's the
That's Hoyt. I messaged you that
Hoyt.
before I got.
You just yelled Hoyt in all caps. I was like, I don't know what that means.
He's also the siren in Supernatural. If we are going to relate everything back to Supernatural, he's the siren.
I know, but I still call him Hoyt.
He is Hoyt.
Forever Hoyt.
Oh, we got to do True Blood. You want to be on that episode?
Yes. I read all the books. I read all the books and then got really mad.
I gave up when they were like the werepanthers and the fairies are fucking, and it created a time-space and I was like,
it only got better from there. Continue.
I gave up on the show.
I missed the vampire stuff.
No one blames you for giving up on the show, Illy.
I don't. How many seasons were there?
7.
Six or
7.
7? I stopped around 4.
Yeah, I think I stopped at 4.
4 is where they really divulged from
there was like the
books.
full moon thing happening or something, and something. Well, they should have divulged from the books because the books went away from the vampires, and Eric wasn't in them anymore. And I was like, this is stupid.
Eric was in them.
Books also don't have Lafayette, so like they don't.
That's true.
Win that way.
But
I will say though, like
they have Quinn. The books have Quinn, which is the were-tiger who is really really hot.
The books, so the books say. I will say though, that, like the boys think they're doing this huge thing with Herogasm or whatever. Like season 2 of True Blood never happened. So
with Petunia Dursley and the fucking orgy. That should have been a Harry Potter book title. Petunia Dursley and the fucking orgy.
We've been talking for several minutes now, and it's been almost entirely about other shows.
Yeah, no, this is fine.
We're
a pop culture show.
Everything just gets referenced into each other. So, if we want to go to Gina Torres, then we can start bringing in Firefly, and then Rob Lowe's and fucking everything. And so then
Parks and Rec.
Well, to bring it back to 911, I wanted to say, I told Lauren this before, TK is so perfectly cast because he looks like the child of those two parents.
He looks like, if you look at a young photo of Rob Lowe, Ronan is like, it's scary.
But like mixed with the mother, like he looks like their kid.
The mother was cast secondary, so it was.
Okay, well that worked out nice.
It was Rob Lowe and Ronan. Ronan is the cutie patootie that is TK, and.
Well, I don't watch this, and I have no say in any of the ships or anything, but I hope those two get back together. I like them.
Who?
The mom and dad.
Oh.
I want TK to have his family back. Uh-oh. You can say, like, I'm not going to watch it.
Remember last time you said this stuff about Eddie, and then it turns out Eddie's wife, like, died in a car hit her, and
and they were like, and fuck her anyway.
And Hailee was like,
I wish I could have run over her myself.
I'm happy about it.
No, you guys saw the episode where, like, why we know that they're not together. Right?
Yeah, because the baby.
Yeah, but I'm just hoping, they find their way back to each other. I don't know. I'm a sucker for the first ship that I see at all times, and I've latched onto that one. So if you didn't already know, this is a shit sorting episode, which means if you have been listening before, that Illy and Hailee gave us 2 episodes to watch from a show, 911 Lonestar, that we've never seen before, and we had to analyze the 3 characters they gave us. So we were given TK. Carlos, and Owen.
And
I
we
really
watched
studied this.
Season 2, episode 8, Bad Call, and Season 2, episode 12, The Big Heat. I said those out loud.
Both of them ended on cliffhangers.
I watched the correct ones. Yeah, well, obviously I don't need to watch any more of the show because the cliffhanger in 8 was resolved in 12 and I saw those people alive.
Yeah. And pregnant. She was just fine and pregnant. They were talking about having a baby in the car when they went over.
Yeah.
And then they went over. And then I turned on the next episode that they gave me and she was pregnant and alive. And I was like, oh, this all resolved. Wonderful.
Spoiler alert, the doctor, in episode 9 that you guys didn't watch, the doctor, walked in with Grace when she woke up and she's like, yeah, they're both fine. And they're like, both? What?
Love that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of those moments.
Okay.
But Grace is hands down the best character of the entire fucking show.
All right, I believe you. I like her a lot.
We'll send you this scene specifically, but there's just one scene where Grace takes a call because she's the 911 dispatcher of this show, She takes a call, and it is... I was like wiggling and screeching on the couch watching her take this call. It is the best thing I have ever seen in my entire life. And if you've watched the show, you know what call I'm talking about. I don't have to explain further.
The infamous call. Make sure you send me that. I want to see if that measures
Mystery. If you haven't watched the show, fuck you. Haley's not going to tell you where to find that episode.
It's how she got her nickname, Your Grace. That's just...
I just rewatched Game of Thrones. This is triggering a lot of bad memories.
Is it?
For me.
So I guess since we talked about it being a spinoff, we can kind of guess how you got into 911 Lone Star, but I'll ask anyway.
I can't remember. Reluctant to watch it. I did not watch it when it first span off. Because it felt like a little gimmicky in the beginning to me. Like it felt like because there's some known names in 911, obviously. Angela Bassett. But
hell yeah.
yeah. But I feel like they were using the Rob Lowe and we didn't give you any episodes with Liv Tyler, but the
Liv Tyler.
We don't discuss
Michelle.
Hey, that's my daughter-in-law. Steven Tyler was my first husband. Also, Arwen from Lord of the Rings. Hello, we love her.
Liv is great,
Not
but
discourage her.
her character in the show is shit.
But doesn't she do a great job of acting at
No.
it? No. Hey, Liv does a great job.
No.
I will disconnect this call right now. But that's funny. I didn't know she was on that.
You know that movie with her and Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
That's better.
Armageddon is incredible. Do not be dissing Armageddon.
I'm not talking about Armageddon. The other one, isn't it? Maybe it's not Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck is Armageddon. My mic has fallen all the way onto my table.
Puts the animal crackers on her belly.
It's the best scene in the entire...
And then Steven Tyler just comes in and I don't want to close my eyes. Hell yeah.
Hold on. Please hold this entire podcast while I look on it.
Listen, what's really
Liv
funny...
Tyler, the movie is Empire Records. And if anyone listening gets that reference and knows that movie, can you please talk to me? Because no one ever fucking does.
What's really funny that nobody else can hear because the audio is perfect. The Zoom is fucking up. So when Illy tries to speak while other people are speaking, we can't actually hear her. So Rachel and Hailee talking over her about Armageddon is...
We were serenading
Jersey Girl.
The tunes of Aerosmith. Oh, Jersey Girl. That's bad. Yikes.
Y'all, my mic has completely fallen off the table.
I don't know who any of these people are, but Sebastian Stan's about to be in a movie where he's tattooed and naked a lot and with Lily James. And that's reminding me of Liv Tyler for some reason, who I don't know.
That's so... Is it just 90s brain? What's going on there? That's such a weird connection.
But I don't Lily James, I don't know, Liv, I don't know.
So anyway, I didn't watch it when it first started, and then there was a pandemic and I had nothing to do but watch television. So I binged all 10 episodes of the first season in a day.
Nice.
Despite Liv Tyler's terrible character, Michelle, that we don't speak of in this house. But yeah, and then I think I just made Hailee watch it like I made her watch the regular one, right?
Nice.
Yeah. The first...
Hailee, how do you feel about it?
Season 2 is fantastic. Season 1 had its moments. I remember watching the first episode and everything was such a stereotype for Texas. And I was just texting her being like, why did you tell me to watch the show?
I have to tell you, to tell you, I made my mom laugh so hard because in the first episode you gave us 2x8 when the bad people kidnapped the paramedics or whatever and Owen came in and shot them, I was like, why does a firefighter have a gun? Oh, they're in Texas. My mom started cracking up.
Pretty much.
I didn't even pick up on that being weird.
No, I was like, why the fuck did a firefighter have a pistol?
I was like, cool. All right.
They don't talk about it either. They don't, because sometimes if something weird happens, a show will write in a little throw off line oh, this is Texas, and they just completely didn't even
just shoot the fucking fire.
Yeah.
Just shoot at it.
Wow, this is bad representation for Europeans watching their show. They're like, oh, all firefighters carry guns in America. which is, probable, but they shoot the fire.
Yeah. They also drive around that entire fire truck is filled with water.
Yeah.
The entire thing. It's like a swimming pool back there, and they just swim back there until they gotta go use all that water, That's a fact. All right, so you picked these 3. Can we get a little insight on why you picked these 3 specifically? Are they the main characters? Are they your favorites? What's going on with them?
Owen is technically the main character of the show because he's Rob Lowe. So,
as it should be.
It's 911 Rob Lowe.
That's honestly, that's how it started. And then TK and Carlos are Tarlos. They are the ship of the show.
Except this time it's canon.
This time it's canon.
I think they should be Carlos, but okay. Yes. As somebody whose name begins with TOK, which has been shortened to TK, which has been lengthened to Taco as a nickname, I think it should be to Carlos.
Oh, your last name. I'm like, what are you talking about? TK's name is Tyler. Like, what?
What's TK stand for?
Tyler Kennedy.
That is such a cool name. Why are they calling him TK?
He doesn't like it. And we don't know why. Do we know why?
I don't think they've referenced it,
Did they say what he was named after? Is he named after his grandfather's?
No, they haven't told us.
No, that's boring.
Tyler Kennedy, what a baller
Kennedy's
name.
a president's name, so did they really like the Kennedy family? And also the name Tyler?
Is their last name Kennedy?
I don't know, but like Carlos, a term of endearment, sometimes calls him Ty.
Cute.
But yeah, no. TK.
All right. Okay. Those are valid reasons to have chosen those 3.
Well, and then TK and Carlos are like the main draw for a lot of the supernatural into 911 Lone Star pipeline that seems to exist nowadays.
That scene in
and there's a reason
Shoe
why.
12 when
Because
Carlos
they're
has
actually
him
gay?
from the back. He's got TK from behind. I was like, oh, that's a little Cass and Dean of you. All right.
The frequency with which Hailee will just text me in all caps, are you going to make me twist my arm or whatever the line is?
Are you going to twist my arm? Please do. It's fine.
All right. the gals are getting a little excited. Okay, so maybe we
didn't even give you the hottest scene. It's
well, that's your fault.
No,
You can give me
because
up to 3
They were
episodes.
taking their clothes off in a room that was on fire. That wasn't the hottest scene.
It's literally hot.
No, there's one in season 1, episode 2, I think, where they literally are like slamming each other into walls and roll off the couch. It's great.
Send me that. Great.
Yeah. It's a lot.
For research purposes.
So there was a lot of discussion with like how to choose these folks and then what episodes to choose, as we always have this debate, because I think that the format of this show is impossible. But
it is.
So this is like truly an ensemble cast. Like, I think. I know technically Rob Lowe is the headliner, but I really wanted to give you guys the pilot, but Hailee talked me out of it because Carlos is hardly in it. But like the pilot is like where you really like learn so much about how this found family was formed, and I thought it was super important, but I was overruled.
Okay.
But I also wanted to sort all of the characters in one episode, and y'all told me no. So
that was
just
also
give us
partially
one episode to sort from. That would have been hard. Like if you just gave us
she
2
wants
8
to sort everybody in one episode, like speed sort.
Oh my god.
Speed sort.
Wow.
I told her
Even
we
the
could do
extras?
that. I told her we could do that in a speed sorting episode of like
Speed sorting.
6 of them, but trying to do 10 of them would be a little bit more difficult.
No, well, sometimes when we do 3 characters, there'll be a 4th that was kind of on the sidelines, and we're like, and we're not going to sort them later, but he's a Hufflepuff, and then throw him in, or we're not going to sort her later, but she's a Slytherin, like, and it just.
We did that in Clueless a ton. Because we were like, we're not coming back to do the men, so Red's a Gryffindor, Murray's a Gryffindor. Like,
there are only a couple of shows like we won't do that for. Like, I won't do that for Supernatural. Obviously, we're going to have Supernatural episodes. So
yeah, we'll sort Gavin.
So yeah,
what?
Do you not remember Gavin, Crowley's son?
Oh,
Why am I sorting that?
I said I was making a point that we'll sort everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The ones people care about, we won't, But okay, so as you were choosing them, I'm just curious before we get into the sorting conversation, do you guys agree on all three?
We agree on 2, and then we could care less about the third. Yeah, basically.
Is it Owen?
Yeah, we don't care.
We're exactly opposite. We're exactly opposite. That's
well, we disagree about Owen, but we don't care enough to fight about it.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't care enough to fight about it, but Lauren won't let it go.
Why are you still fucking fighting with me?
Because you're annoying. That's
She's like, I don't care. I don't care enough to fight about this 3 paragraphs.
No, because I don't care. No, you're not understanding me. I don't care about the topic. I care about your fucking attitude. That's what I care about.
You triggered her fight response.
Okay, me taking a tissue from the wrong box would trigger her fight response.
I said no.
Everything.
I told Lauren that she triggered your fight response.
You're absolutely right. Which also is very easy to do.
I triggered her contrary response, which is also incredibly easy to do. I just want to be the opposite of what you're fighting so hard for.
Okay.
Which is why
if you tell me what you sorted them beforehand, I'm going to be defiant, and then I'm not going to sort them.
I didn't say I was going to be defiant. I didn't tell you that. When I was sorting Friends, I said it was really hard for me to sort them without thinking about what you had said, and I was kind of sad that I wasn't coming from a blank page. I still agree with you on all the Friends. Shut the fuck up.
Go fucking cry about it. How about that? Go cry about it. Okay. So... Continue, Illy. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Do you want us to start?
Well, I don't know. Should we just start with Owen since Owen is a point of contention?
Yeah.
What? Okay, the rest of the episode will be
the rest of the episode will just be like, yeah, that was easy. Done. Yeah, that was easy. Done. No. Okay.
All right, so let's start with the easies. Okay,
well,
fine. We'll start with the easy.
I will preface this to where anytime I've previously been on, I have come in with pages of notes to prove that I was right and I've been wrong. So this time I've just been like, screw it, don't care, just vibes, no notes. This is how we're going in.
Hell yeah, Hailee, let's go.
You know how I know you were being contrary? Because I was arguing with you and you're like, maybe he could be this house that you're using as an example that is not anything that the house he is in, but he could be that over the one that you're saying. Anyway.
You were giving the lamest fucking examples.
I was not.
And I'm like, really that's just being a father.
Exactly what a thing is.
No.
Yeah,
no.
And you were
we'll get into it later. We just said we're going to do the easy ones first. Why are you still going?
Oh no, we're doing Owen first. I have made executive decision.
He'll go forever.
We literally just said we were doing the easy ones first.
Who was the easiest out of all of them? TK. Okay. Yeah, fair. All right. So you guys go first. You decide amongst yourselves who wants to say it.
He's a Gryffindor.
All right.
Yes.
Why?
He's a dumbass.
Not enough. No, you can look at the Slytherin list and get a couple dumbasses from there. It's not enough.
Honestly, an argument could probably be made for that.
No.
For Slytherin?
No.
Okay, wait. Let's argue about this, actually.
Why?
I literally can't because I listened to his 2 opening sentences of the first episode, his little speech about how he's so happy everyone's there because he's sober, and I texted Rachel and I was like, I don't know what he is, but he's not a Slytherin. From those 2 sentences.
That's fair.
I didn't want him to be a Gryffindor, so I pretended in my head to struggle with it for a second, because I didn't like him very much. I didn't find him very likable. I like Carlos a lot, but I don't like TK that much. He's just very pretty.
So here's the thing, Rachel. I kind of agree with you. And here's why. So he is my favorite character. I should preface with that. But so his relationship with Carlos, I feel, is very one-sided when it comes to the emotional give and take of it. And I feel like TK only knows how to take and not to give in that situation. And that drives me up a wall.
Okay.
Don't make it dirty, Lauren.
I'm not making it dirty. I'm
relating it back to another relationship that we know of that is these 2 same houses that is exactly like this. And the reason why so many people that we know relate to the ship and like it so much.
Right. Okay, well, I thought about it for a second. I was like, if he's not a Gryffindor, what can he be? Because Gryffindor was screaming at me, and I was like, maybe it's not this easy. Let's think about it. I was like, could he be a Hufflepuff? Like, does he care about his job? Does he care about? He cares a lot about his parents and this fucking baby, and the way he just kind of let it go with his mom, where he was like, yeah, Enzo will be a great father. All right, bye, and then just gave his dad a really dirty look. I was like, maybe a Gryffindor would get angrier, but he's a much more mellow kind of Gryffindor, from the episodes you gave us. Just in his responses.
No, I don't think he's mellow, Rachel. It's just what you said that he internalizes over externalizes. He's a left side.
Did you not see...
But I'm trying not to say left side.
Well, it's too bad. Everybody needs to get on board with this terminology.
I know. Okay, what I wanted to say was he's a left-sider, but I feel like people are going to get confused.
But left-sider doesn't mean mellow. It means that you turn your anger in on yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
I was about to say, did you not see the fight where he and Carlos get into it in the second episode?
It just wasn't as heated as I thought it could have been. If you put Dean there, Dean would have been knocked down. It would have been bad.
TK doesn't deal with his anger that way because he's not because he's a drug addict, a recovering drug addict.
He deals with it as being a drug addict.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he hurts himself. Yeah.
Yeah. He internalizes it. That's what we mean when we say left side, just for everybody that I'm worried about confusing.
Bucky Barnes, Edward Cullen.
Yeah. Well, when Lauren, she watched it after me, so I was waiting for her to catch up, so we could talk about it. I didn't want to say it and then have it ruin it for her. So I was like, he reminded me so much of Bucky, kind of the way that Bucky Barnes, it's not all outward. It's very much not all outward. He keeps a lot in. And just, again, I've only got the 2 episodes to go on, but that's the kind of Gryffindor I got from him. But yes, we agreed, Gryffindor.
There was one line that he said where he was just like, it was the same thing about the, when he was yelling at his mom about breaking things up. He's like, if you can't do it for me, then do it for the baby. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, daddy and mommy issues coming out swinging right here. But it's like, if you can't do it for me, then at least do it for this.
Right.
Idiot.
Yeah. He's a rude little one, isn't he?
It's
a little nasty.
He's a brat.
His mom said something to him and he was like, I would never say anything like that to you. And I was like, yes, you would. You definitely would.
So this show doesn't seem to be doing Begins episodes like the OG 911 is doing, but we've gotten glimpses of what TK's childhood was like. And there's a lot of mommy and daddy issues happening.
Well, yeah, he said that they got divorced when he was 7, and he's been trying to get them back together ever since.
The ultimate betrayal, and the first way you can create a Gryffindor
is divorce.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other specific. I'm gonna be I didn't really like him that much either. I found him pretty boring. He was very pretty, so I would just stare at him. But but I don't know. I'm trying to think. There wasn't a ton of him in that first episode either because he got kidnapped and knocked out.
Trying to save the day.
Well,
it was stupid
but
way.
It was such a bad
it was
attempt.
Extremely stupid. Slow walking towards the fire alarm. I was like, dude, if your objective is to pull it and you're hoping nobody will notice because you don't want your friends to get shot, they'll all hear the fire alarm. So why not just run for it and pull it?
I didn't say he was smart. Okay, I immediately said from the get-go he's a dumbass. But he is always pulling shenanigans like that to try and save the day, and most of the time they are stupid shenanigans that don't work and end up getting everyone else in trouble.
What else did he do? I'm trying to think of what you're...
The corn!
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Well, in the second episode, he gets all pissed at Carlos on behalf of his dad, and
oh yeah,
you don't know, you have no idea. Obviously, as a logical
being mean to my daddy
person, you don't know if your dad did do something, and he's like, you already know that your dad should know better. Why? He met him for an hour last night. What do you mean he should know better? He doesn't know your father. But
I was gonna say also in the first episode the fact that he hadn't been home for a while and his parents are both like, oh no, he's on drugs. I was like.
They they were so worried about him, which
No, I know, but the fact that they were like, oh no, see, we made him upset. He's on drugs.
Yeah, and they're sitting here just feeding him matzo ball soup. And Owen's like, what is he doing? Does he do a lot of like natural concoction things?
Yes.
Like,
Like
okay.
lavender.
Yeah,
because he's got
"Let me get your
cancer."
potions.
The show starts, to give you a little bit more backstory into TK. The show like opens with them still in New York, Owen and TK, and TK decides to propose to his boyfriend Alex, and then at that dinner finds out that Alex has been cheating on him.
Ew, Alex.
And then we don't see it happen on screen, but he immediately goes back to his apartment and ODs, and Owen finds him. So there's a lot of shared trauma happening around his drug addiction.
Some more backstory into Owen along those same lines is at that same time, people from Austin have come recruiting him specifically. They are recruiting him specifically because they think he can be the best choice to rebuild this firehouse.
We're not doing Owen yet.
I know, but I'm just throwing that out
laying
there.
The groundwork.
She's setting the stage.
They don't even know why the firehouse had to be rebuilt.
Okay, well,
There was an explosion. Everybody died, but Judd. It's fine.
Okay, TK's from New York.
Oh, they said that in the episode. When he was talking to Chief Swan, he was like, "We're the only two left."
Chief Swan.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Chief Swan. Oh man, we should have sorted him. I love him.
I don't know. It's because we spent so much time talking about Bella. We didn't have time.
He left Forks and he grew out that hair, and I'm just living for it. I am truly living for it. Loved it. He came on the show. I was like, Charlie.
Okay, but
So
Billy
good.
is actually the worst too.
But it's funny because his name is Billy. The actor's name is Billy. So I'm like, you guys know him? What's going on?
No.
Billy Burke?
Why do you know the actor's name?
Because I've seen Twilight more times than I've seen my mother.
He's also like been in a lot of things. It's not just Twilight.
That's
just
his most
Twilight.
important role that he should have won awards for, though. Like, that's,
I'm sorry, that one part where he does bring him in with
Hell
the
yeah.
shotgun. Best thing of his entire career. The best moment.
I
Can't
talk
read.
about Charlie for a long time. But he's a very different character on this show. But I was just really
He
excited
sucks
to
on
see
this
him.
show.
Yeah, he
He's
was
the worst.
He took that punch from Hoyt, and I was like, respect, even though he didn't do anything wrong.
He's really not smart. Carlos I'm just remembering, Carlos came to the fire station and we have your dad in custody. He's like, custody? What does that mean? Carlos is like, he was arrested.
I was like, TK, oh my God.
I feel like he's intelligent, but not smart. And
Okay.
very fickle. Like
He could be street smart, but not like intellectually smart.
No, I think it's the opposite.
You do?
Yeah.
I would think he would know what in custody means if he was intellectually smart.
No, because the emotions were too clouding his brain, and so he couldn't
I
actually
see.
think.
I see. I relate.
That also points to Gryffindor, that you're emotional before you even hear what the fuck's happening.
Exactly.
That just depends on whether you choose to trigger me or not.
Okay.
It's entirely on the other person.
In the first season, he, spoiler, gets shot and then goes through this existential crisis of whether he even wants to be a fire person anymore.
Yeah, he was a firefighter. He wasn't always paramedic.
Yeah, he's a firefighter. So, goes through this whole big thing, decides, yes, this, and has a whole speech about it, about how this is all he ever wants to do in his life. Like, he found himself, he wants to be here, he wants to be a firefighter, he wants to be with this family, and then 3 episodes later, he's like, actually, I'm gonna go move and be a paramedic. Sorry, Dad.
Same firehouse, same family. And then, there's one part where Nancy, which you met Nancy, we don't know a lot about her because she just kind of started coming into her own. They ignored her for the entire first season. She was just there.
Yeah.
She was fucking awesome.
We didn't ever know her name the entire first season, I don't think.
She was awesome. The dude had her at gunpoint, was like, fix my friend. And she was like, are you high? We're in a parking garage.
Yeah, no, we love Nancy.
She was great.
We could care less about Nancy, but it's fine.
Excuse me?
I don't care about Nancy. I have zero feelings about Nancy.
Okay. Well, she was cool.
You're incorrect. Continue.
There are too many other people that have me by the balls at this point, so it's fine.
That's fair.
Nancy came in too late.
Well, he just got his dumbass knocked out, and then he didn't know what custody meant, and he's like, he's a silly little boy with air in his brain, but he's pretty, so I understand why, you know. But
He loves
like
his
him.
daddy, and his dad keeps hurting him, and he's like, I love you more. Like,
They're
Is that
actually
what happens? Does daddy keep hurting him?
Well,
I mean,
in
Daddy
ways,
didn't
yes.
feel it was important to tell him that he wasn't actually being arrested for murder and arson.
Need to know.
Daddy at one point.
Let's talk about that when we talk about Owen, Hailee.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I think that'll speak to both of our points, as it's been doing all fucking night. So,
By the way,
Okay.
you've convinced me into your side.
For Owen,
Me?
by the way, I'm not fighting
Yes.
you anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
that won't be happening, Lauren, with us. So,
Yeah, because even when I'm right, you're not going to say so.
same to you, biatch.
I would say if you
All
were
right,
right.
so TK Gryffindor. What about Carlos? Where do you guys land?
He's a Hufflepuff.
You both think Hufflepuff?
Yes.
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 Okay, tell me why.
There is no why, he just is.
He's just
Okay.
like small boy protect boy.
Okay.
I don't have words for
No, there nothing else fits. He's not. No, I honestly can't make anything else fit.
To relate it to the episodes you've seen, I don't think any other house would have let that guy with a bomb strapped to his neck get in the car and leave.
Okay. So so you guys are just like it's the feeling that you get, it's an overall vibe, so you're not going to pull out like the list of reasonings, right? So I'm just going to hit you with he's a Gryffindor.
No,
And he totally would.
No.
A Gryffindor totally would let that go because
No.
he got him with the my son, and he made the eyes at him,
and he
felt
also
really
told the
bad.
lady cop, I'm the only one responsible for this.
Yeah.
no.
And he's got some big daddy issues. His dad's a dick.
Do not let them convince you. There is no way in hell.
No, yeah, I don't. Okay, let's keep talking about this because I don't agree.
Okay, so he literally is saying, I go with my gut, which is like the Gryffindor tagline, and he then is meant to doubt his gut by who his father, stereotypical. His dad's like, yeah, but your gut needs to be right. Like, ouch. Okay, John Winchester ass, you fucking dick. So he makes him doubt himself, and then finally he needs another father figure, Owen, to come in and tell him, no, you should trust your gut. And he's like, you're right, I do trust my gut.
He's
And
like,
then
there should
in
be a heart
episode-
behind the badge. And he's like, oh, I have a really big heart. Like, I followed my heart.
And then in episode 12, he's fighting about his father too. TK's like, my dad's right. And Carlos is like, no, my dad's right. And then here's how I know they're a Gryffindor couple. And I'm going to tell you flat out right now. At the very end, they both go, we don't need to apologize. We can just
Can
move
I
on."
tell you how angry I am about that to this day?
No, because I wish that's how all my arguments ended. I wish. I don't like it. Like, just leave it. Let it go. Oh,
They were physically assaulted. TK physically assaulted him and then they just dropped it. No.
yeah. Well,
Ugh.
he put him in a full body bind, and
So infuriating. I don't know. I just he's very adamant and I feel like I just am going along with her. But I don't know. I don't
Hailee, would you let someone get away with doing that to you and then say you don't need to apologize to me if they physically put their hands on you? Friend, sister, cousin, woman in the grocery store. I can't see you letting that fly and saying you don't need to apologize.
I mean, here's the thing with Gryffindors too, because Gryffindors don't like let it go either, but Carlos
But they
also got
do.
to fight him. So like he pushed him around a bit or whatever and like yelled at him.
Oh,
and
yeah,
and then the thing that they were mad about turned out to not be a thing. So they were both
And then
just
they
like,
banged
let's
it
never
out.
talk about it again.
Like, they followed the code book of a Gryffindor. Like, they did it together. Like, my dad issues. My dad's right. Oh, I love you. I hate you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to punch you. Let's do it. And don't say sorry. Like, it was so.
I told, oh my God, Rachel and I were like, it's not healthy. It's not a healthy relationship. Like Gryffindors can't.
No.
And they're both. And it's so funny too, because we were saying earlier that TK's a right side Gryffindor. I told Rachel.
No, you said TK was a left-sided Gryffindor.
Left side. I'm sorry.
TK is left.
Before I even like said anything about left or right, I was like, Carlos is like Tony Stark before the match. Like he's the right side before the match got ignited. Like he's Tony Stark before his dad died without saying he loved him. Like his dad needs to die without saying he loves him, and then he'll be full like crazy. He's got it in him. Like
really?
Yeah, he does. He's the way he snapped at his father. He was like, "Why don't you tell me what you think of me? Let me know.
Why don't you say I'm right?
Know.
Like, are you going to say I'm right? Because I was right, and I need you to tell
me I'm right.
Because like that's the whole point of all this, and I was right, and I need you to tell me because only that validates me, not the fact that I was right about this whole thing. Like, I need you to.
Can I just say that these are the only 2 episodes where his father is any way, shape, or any way brought up or involved.
Well, clearly you thought that was important enough to tell us.
No, this is just Daddy Issues episode.
No, this is just the ones that had the most Carlos in it because it's such an ensemble cast that everything else has like.
And because his father's relationship with him is so integral to his being, and he needs his approval so fucking bad. I've never seen a Hufflepuff need approval that bad. When Cass is looking for God, it's for a mission. It's to be useful. It's to have a purpose. It's not because he wants Daddy to give him a special pat on the head.
Even the approval he needs from Dean, it's like it comes to a point where he's like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah. Carlos is like, yeah, you hit me. Don't apologize. What the fuck? It's not a Hufflepuff. They'll never let you get away with that. Hailee, you're going to let me get away with that? I'm going to push you right now through Zoom. What you going to do about it?
Okay, but wait,
But he pushes them back. And so it's kind of one of those things of like, well, my guilt is also getting to me. So it's like, maybe we just won't talk about it because then I don't have to apologize either.
Who is the house of guilt?
No, but who's the house of passive aggressiveness?
They can be pretty passive aggressive, though, to be fair.
I'm just saying, because Carlos is the most passive aggressive human being on this entire show, and I think that's why I lean.
But I don't think it was passive to step to his father and go, why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me? Tell me I was right. Why don't you let me know what you think of me? Like, he went up to his
the whole thing, and when his dad confronted him and his dad was making him doubt himself, he was still being confrontational. He was like, I did what you taught me to do. Like, why the fuck are you coming at me? Like, you know?
But, so the other episode with his dad that you didn't see was that TK and Carlos run into them at, like, the farmer's market, and they hadn't met TK yet, and he introduced him as his friend from work, even though, like, Carlos introduced him as his friend from work, even though he was out to his parents. And and he and TK had a huge fight and like almost broke up about it. And that I don't remember. I lost my train of thought because you're all looking at me like, yeah, and
no, it's fine. So they have a big fight about it, and how does it?
TK is the one who ends up blowing up, and Carlos is just sitting there. I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah. So I feel like
stop woobifying Hufflepuffs. They're not little chibis. They can be crazy. What is this?
I feel like his attitude in the later episodes is influenced by that because I feel like TK like rubs off on him and is like, buddy, like you need to. Why are you laughing?
Sorry.
Because you said choice of words.
Oh my God.
I feel like TK's reaction, because I feel like Carlos has been very insulated to his own reality, and TK made him see that there's external situations, and like he could fight back. I don't think Carlos ever would have fought back if it wasn't for his relationship with TK.
But Carlos doesn't even really fight for his position on the. Like, they take his badge, they take his gun, and he's just like, okay, they took my shit, Dad. Like, what do I do? Like, he's not arguing or fighting for it as much, like, in a way I think Hufflepuff would if that's their community, that's their people. Like, you fight to stay on it.
We haven't gotten enough of Carlos by himself. We've only ever seen Carlos in his interactions with the 126, the firehouse, and in like season 1, before TK came into the picture, the way that they introduced him was through Liv Tyler's character. Okay. And he was just like best friend. And so we haven't seen Carlos interacting.
They're not fleshed out.
No. And so we can't say for sure does he have?
Well, listen, guys. If he's not, if it's not Gryffindor, it's Hufflepuff, right? Because he's not a logic house.
No,
that's for certain. And I did again, just like with TK, I thought about it for a second. I was like, could he fit Hufflepuff? And I didn't see very many Hufflepuff traits.
Yeah, I didn't see.
I didn't see a lot of Gryffindor traits. I don't see.
I think
any
you're
of
looking for the boisterous, like angry, stereotypical Gryffindor. Like it's not all, not all like that. Like some are chiller than others. Like we got an Edward Cullen over here.
But I don't see him fitting like Edward. I don't see him fitting like Claire.
He's not.
Claire was a Slytherin. Sorry, my bad.
He's like.
He has the potential to blow up.
Logan Eccles.
Who?
Oh, no. He can beat Logan Eccles.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Not now.
No, his dad hasn't been mean enough to him. Like baby Logan.
Yeah, because he is. He's very, like, I see what you're saying about him being
Logan
like, he's
either.
more passive than TK. He's a different kind. He's a different breed. But give me a Hufflepuff trait that he's got.
I don't see him like he did, like you said, like he wasn't super like really freaked out about his job. He was just like, okay, like it was very
He was
like,
more angry about his dad.
But it was also very calm. If I die, I die. Like whatever's about to happen is about to happen.
Yeah.
Like whatever. He wasn't like super into his job. I didn't see anything in the 2 episodes you gave us where he was very certain in how he fit in anywhere. You know, like he was very like, this is what I do and this is how I affect the people around me. Like, I didn't see that at all as a trait.
Take on responsibility for everything. I'm not going to get my partner in trouble. It's completely on me.
See, I don't ever...
Well, that was Gryffindor.
I'm like, that's the only time that I've ever even seen him be like, I'm going to take responsibility for this.
Okay.
Any other time...
Look, you've seen more than we have, but...
I will give them that he doesn't really have a community that we've seen.
No, but I think that's because they haven't done his character justice, not the fact that he doesn't necessarily have one.
You got to use what the writers give you, you know? And they're not giving him a group that he's part of, that he feels this like intense loyalty to and that he needs to serve and fulfill a purpose. Like it looks like he goes from mission to mission, call to call, whatever it is, and does his best to serve like that, the moment of that moment. How poetic is that? But like when the guy goes, I have a bomb, he's yelling at him first. He's like, put it down, go, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, but I have a son and they strapped this to me and blah, blah, blah. Like it could have easily gotten so played. And you can very easily play a Gryffindor in this way. And you just have to appeal to whatever is going to hit them. And for him, I think family might be a little bit of an issue because of his issues with his father. So he's hearing about a father and son, and he's immediately like, go, you're fine. Take the $1 million and get...
Okay, so you have said before, and I remember on your graphic, about Hufflepuffs, trust their instincts. They are great at reading people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is doing here. It's not that he's getting played. It's that he is trusting his instincts and he's reading people. And he does that throughout the entire thing, is he's constantly reading people in their kind of situations, in which case that's how he relates on the slightly Slytherin side of being able to read people in their situations. Like there's one part where Nancy calls TK out for TK is complaining, saying how Nancy thinks that the firehouse is like a lunchroom, like high school lunchroom, and that the firefighters are the cool kids and the medics are the nerds or whatever. And TK's like, I don't understand. That's bullshit. That's not how it is. Blah, 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 blah. And Carlos is just like, no, babe.
Like, you're definitely a cool kid.
You're definitely a cool kid. Read the room. This is not how it is. And
yes, he's a good judge of character. Yeah. Hufflepuffs are good judges of character. That's totally true. But I think in that moment, he's not sitting there having a conversation with the man, trying to figure out who he is as a character, as a person, and figuring out his overall character as a human being. He's reading the situation and he's going with his gut. And he literally says it. It's the whole theme throughout the episode. We're going to go with my gut. I'm going to trust my gut. And my daddy says my gut is wrong.
Carlos' voice is killing me.
Just because he is like a little bit, like, I get it. He is very like sweet and he's not abrasive in the way TK can be. And I get it. But I don't know that many, like, Hufflepuffs get stereotyped as so sweet and cute and like squishy. And like, which one? which one? They're all fucking badass. Like, which one is the little squish and they'll kill you. Snap your neck.
But that is the vibe I get from him. Like I'm not, if anybody remembers from last episode, I don't go here. Like I don't know much about the houses, so I just kind of go by what I listen to this podcast and learn. But like I feel like it's like the Hufflepuff is like the opposite of a cookie. Like how you want a cookie to be like crunchy on the outside and then soft in the middle. I feel like it's the opposite, where like they have this like outward air of being like soft and kind and all of that, and then when you get down to the nitty gritty, they're like badass and will snap your neck. And that's what I get from Carlos.
I even saying that, I didn't get a wooby thing from him.
Me neither. You have to like read the motivation of a character, right? Like that's the whole basis of it. Like what's motivating them, and
our made up thing, yeah.
Of our made up science. And I see it as he's telling you he's motivated by his gut instincts. He's telling you that. And like that's very
and
Gryffindor.
By needing to please his dad, and he does that through taking on responsibilities and
just forgiving anything TK throws. Like he's just cool with it, and he's like, let's just let it go.
Okay, but that is also a Hufflepuff thing of just being cool with it and letting it go. And then you just kind of keep it in your back pocket for a later day. And right now, currently, the two of them are broken up and we don't know why.
Yeah.
In season 3, the two of them are broken up and they won't tell us why. And we don't know anything.
They won't tell anyone. Like they won't even tell their friends why they broke up.
No, like
that's interesting.
We have no idea why. And so
I bet it's TK's fault.
I think it is.
So first of all, I was looking through our past sortings to see if I could give you an example of a right side Gryffindor for.
Well, they're insane, so it's hard.
Yeah, it is. And also, all of the ones that we've done have snapped already. Like, I really, truly feel that Carlos needs to snap first, but that he's there. But I will say that TK is a Will Turner Gryffindor. Exactly. Will Turner.
We are not going to discuss Will Turner.
Okay, Hailee.
Oh, yeah, you thought that one was a Hufflepuff too. We can only give you what our gut instinct is, and he to me he reads as a Gryffindor
from those
lying in wait. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see him explode, and then you'll see. You'll all see. You'll come crawling back.
I'm willing to concede. I don't think Hailee is willing to concede.
I am not. I am not willing, and I can tell.
Oh, the Hufflepuff who just said Hufflepuffs can let things go.
I have conceded every single other time I have been here.
Yeah, and now you're just being contrary. You're like, I won't give this one up. I won't do it again.
No.
I will concede on the basis that this may have been a premature sorting because as much as we love him and we feel like we've gotten a lot of him, we have only really gotten to know him in relation to TK. And so if we do get to learn more about him as an individual, because we really, like, the only insight that we have to his background is like he came out to his parents when he was 17 and they like hugged him and then they moved on and like it was not a closure thing. Like he never got to like experience that stuff. So like that's kind of some of his motivation, but that's all we know. Like literally that's all we know about Carlos.
His dad was just so mean.
Tumblr user Buttercup Strand says that Carlos is a Gryffindor.
Well, talk to all of Twitter 911 fandom, and they will tell you the exact opposite.
Because they want to womanify him.
No,
so cute.
Rachel's like, I will not have it.
No, because I've had people want to wubbify TK and be like, no, he's a Hufflepuff. I'm like, no, he's not.
Oh Christ, no, he's not. He's like very openly Gryffindor. He's like really obvious.
This person put Eddie in. No, they put Eddie in the right place. They put Buck in Gryffindor. Good for them.
Yeah,
they did
it right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, no, you fought with me on that one.
No, they did
that
it right.
was one me trying to wubbify a Gryffindor.
Okay, so we all agree on TK. We don't all agree on Carlos.
Fuck
Interesting.
You. Yeah.
I would love to see what you guys think of Owen. So you guys don't really care about him? Is that the thing?
No, he's just there.
It's his show and he's just there.
I loved him.
I'm a big fan of angst. That's my life's blood. And so I enjoy the Owen character for what it does for the angst of TK.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I could like kind of take or leave him. Yeah, I don't know.
I just really like how he handled himself in that episode, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that's one of his better episodes.
Yeah.
Well,
look, you guys have the advantage of knowing him way better.
The fire one, we have renamed the fire episode Fever because that's the song that is playing whenever they get hot and heavy. You bring your fever. So Illy and I have renamed these into Kidnap and Fever. So whenever we're talking about it, then there's Kidnap episode, which is the first one.
Okay.
And then there's Fever.
I liked him in Fever.
Yes.
Yes, he was very smart in Fever.
Where are you putting him?
Okay, so my initial gut vibe, because I said I was coming in here on gut vibes only and not actually trying to take notes. See, we can work on gut instinct. Anyway.
Yeah, you can, but you hate that you don't have notes
and
right
you
now,
don't trust it.
You hate it.
Shut up. He didn't trust it either. It's fine.
Where are you putting him, Hailee?
My initial gut instinct was to say that he was a Gryffindor, but I think Illy has convinced me into saying that he's a Slytherin.
Yes, I am. I am on the side of Slytherin for Owen.
Okay, so
as I was talking about him, I'm like, no, she's convinced.
He's absolutely a logic house. He doesn't emote very much at all. Illy, I put him in Ravenclaw. I thought you might too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Lauren put him in Slytherin.
Yeah, and you're wrong. So I don't know what
care
else to
what
say
you
to
said.
you.
Notice how I didn't address you.
You said my name.
I don't know why I think I have the house blindness thing, and probably because y'all haven't sorted a ton of Ravenclaws, at least the ones that I've listened to that I know. So I think I just don't even.
I just found him to
be
very...
sorted Raven. We just did a Marvel Ravenclaw.
I haven't listened to it yet. I'm sorry. I'm the worst friend ever.
I find Slytherins are usually so easy to suss out. There's an intense amount of pride in themselves.
Rachel
and their
has
craft
been on
and
a
what
kick
they do.
lately. She's been on a kick lately where she's like, this person isn't angry enough to be a Slytherin. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I
she's
only
like,
said that about Kate,
enough.
and you just can't fucking let it go.
You've said it about Owen too.
Oh my god. I was responding to something you said. I responded to something you said. I didn't pull it out of my ass.
Completely out of context, and I asked you why you thought I had meant that.
The context is what you typed, baby.
No,
it's put your name on it, and if it was a legal document, you would lose.
Say that he is yelling. You took me capsing a word to mean that
no one knows what you're fucking talking about. I'm so embarrassed for you. No one knows what you're saying.
I'm just saying that if you're yelling in all caps, if you're typing in all caps, you are yelling.
Yes, I was yelling, but I wasn't saying that Owen literally yelled in somebody's face. I said he went,
so
no,
he doesn't strike me.
Owen has never raised his voice once on this show.
Okay,
which
he
is
doesn't
allowed
strike me as he doesn't strike me as an overtly passionate person about anything. I think he's very cool, calm, collected. He walks in and assesses the situation. And again, I'm going off 2 episodes. He assesses the situation. He masterminded that whole fucking episode. It was very strategic, and he had them all working for him and in different parts and having different cogs.
Okay, but Ravenclaws don't.
And shit.
Ravenclaws don't. Ravenclaws are not the ones that make people move. Remember, Slytherins are the ones that make people move and do what they're supposed to do.
You don't think that a Ravenclaw can make you move if he wants you to, or she wants you to?
I was telling you this when you were comparing to the other person we were talking about. That person doesn't point at people and go move exactly where I want you to. She goes, I know what you are good at. Go do it so I don't have to do it.
Yeah, that's literally what happened this episode.
No, it's not. He actually moved everybody.
I don't agree with you.
See, I don't agree with any of you because I don't think that was his idea at all. I think
he went to Carlos's dad.
No, I think it was a joint thing, and I think it was mostly fueled by Carlos's dad. Because
he was the one who went to Carlos's dad.
He's the Texas Ranger.
He didn't want to lie.
Which Ravenclaws don't want to lie.
One of the points that I was really
I don't think Ravenclaws I can personally say, I don't know if this is a Ravenclaw trait, but I thought it was, that we can't lie. I could never have pulled that off.
Not that you can't, but you prefer not to.
Oh no, I'm physically incapable. You will know.
Okay, like
Well,
that's
that's an Illy
my
thing.
husband too.
That's an Illy
my
thing.
husband too. No,
But
that's George.
Ravenclaw's big thing is being hypocritical. So yeah, sometimes lying can be that, but you can get around it, especially
that
when
was my whole vibe with Owen.
I was talking about this with George earlier because Rachel was like, I was like, no, because Ravenclaws can do things that they twist their like it's convoluted logic, but it makes sense to them, so they're still like fine. Like, but no,
right. Your logic is integral to you. Like, it's your logic.
No, there was one point that I was like, this man is really a Slytherin. He was bitching about Billy, and he was like, that man keeps trying to like manipulate me and doing all this shit to me, and he was so over it. He's like, he thinks I can't see it coming from like a mile away, and like I'm staring right at it. And I was like, this man is a Slytherin.
I can see Ravenclaw be getting like really upset by that. Like, you're trying to manipulate me. What the hell?
All night, me saying specific Slytherin things, and you going, that could be a Ravenclaw.
Because I don't think it's a specific Slytherin thing. I don't think it is.
I've been listing specific Slytherin things. I've been
but
listing
I don't agree.
People. Well, yeah, because you've been going, that's not really his people. That's just like you've just been putting another word on it.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
he got told that this guy said to him, I'm going to fucking take everything you love. Like, I'm going to kill what you love, basically. And he went to the firehouse, okay? He thought of the firehouse immediately. Fine, okay? Which is fair. He's very smart. He sussed that out. But it took, like, so long, and then finally he was like, oh yeah, my son. And then he was like, all right, and my son's with his boyfriend. Oh, that makes sense. And I feel like a Slytherin would have I really feel like a Slytherin would have been in his kid's house looking immediately.
But
no, I told
is
you
that
this too.
Slytherin, or is that just them trying to make the show dramatic in ways that they needed to make the show?
But no, I told her this too. I told her this too. Yeah, I mean also that they needed the plan to work.
That's a symptom of everything.
No,
on
but
TV.
I told you this earlier too. He said specifically that the only way he was thinking about this is how he would do it. So if he was still doing that from his point of view, I was telling Rachel this, like the episode made it clear that TK had just moved out of his dad's house. So his dad's having probably not really, his brain's not really up to date on the fact that my son isn't in my home safe because it's my home. And also that bad guy, whoever that bad guy was, learned that day that Carlos and TK were dating, and Rob Lowe didn't hear it. So it would have taken him a while thinking from his point of view to be like, oh, the bad guy might go to Carlos's house, which he just learned about today that I didn't hear about.
I don't think it takes that I really don't think it takes that much thinking.
Why would he think that Carlos's house was in danger if he didn't know that the bad guy knew that they were dating?
Why wouldn't he think that where his son is a place of danger?
Why would the guy know where his son was?
Okay, but can we go back to the fact that...
What difference does it fucking make? What are you talking about?
If the bad guy doesn't know that Carlos is dating his son, why would he think that that house was going to blow up?
Dude, the second Billy said to him, I thought he was talking to the ranger, he was like, oh, he was talking to both of us.
Yeah, because then he was like, the guy must have known that they were dating.
Where does TK live?
In Carlos's house. He just moved there.
Does his dad not know that he lives in Carlos's house?
No, the bad guy didn't know that Carlos and TK were dating. The ranger told
but
him
if the guy, he sussed out that the guy made multiple stops along the way to the firehouse. He sussed that out. He said it. And he doesn't think that his child's home is one of the places?
It's Carlos's home. It's not TK's home.
But it's where he lives.
But why
doesn't he think about his own fucking house then? Like, what?
Because as a Slytherin, your own house is safe.
No, because I understand what Lauren is saying, and I never understand what Lauren is saying. So I think what Lauren is saying is that from a Ravenclaw perspective, the timeline and order of operations wouldn't have immediately lined up for Owen in that particular situation because Owen thought that he was talking directly to him and not to Carlos's dad.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No,
From a Ravenclaw
I'm saying
perspective, that's why it didn't add up as a Ravenclaw.
No. As a Slytherin who specifically said the only reason I was able to figure out that you were doing this is because I looked at it from my point of view, which is a Slytherin thing.
Exactly, that's a Slytherin thing,
they
right
are very,
there.
very good at only looking at Owen. The bad guy did not know that Carlos and TK were dating. This fact was revealed to him by the ranger or by somebody else when they were like, oh, your relationship or whatever. And he was like, what relationship? And he was like, I think their sons are together. And he was like, oh.
Yes, he didn't hear that.
Okay, no, okay. Rob Lowe did not hear that. He was in the other room, okay?
That does not dissuade me at all. I don't know why you keep saying
that. The bad guy knew that Carlos and TK were dating, so why would he think that Carlos's house was in danger if the bad guy had no idea that TK would be at his house?
Dude, it doesn't matter. Like, he made multiple stops along the way. You think your house, where my kid lives, where I work.
There was no way for him to know where his kid lived.
There was no way for the bad guy to know where his kid lived.
if he wasn't also targeting Carlos, which wasn't.
So he went to the firehouse.
But I think a Slytherin would have covered all the bases. I just do.
If a Slytherin was thinking about it, how he would do it, and the Slytherin was like, I don't know where the kid lives, then he wouldn't just go blowing up fucking random houses.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So he went to his fucking mind palace and was like, let me put myself in his shoes because I am a Slytherin, so now I can see through your brain.
He was like,
because that's what you all do, right? When you're trying to think of what someone else is going to do.
And I have conversations with myself, and I actually walk through the scenarios. Okay. That's exactly what I do.
That's fucking crazy. Okay.
You've told me that. But I walk through the scenarios. If he was logicking through this from his point of view, and he was like, there was no way that this man could know this, I wouldn't waste my time with it unless there was like another indication. And he got that indication when the guy was like, he was looking at the ranger as well.
Am I able to mute people on the Zoom?
Yes.
Illy is trying to speak.
Rachel, I think there's two situations that you didn't see because they're in other episodes that I feel like you need to know, and that might change your mind.
You could tip me to Slytherin. It's just that none of these arguments are.
Yes. So we're tabling this because I feel like that episode that we gave you was very telling, but it was so convoluted.
It was just the way it was just. I'm going to tell you flat out. You don't get a lot of like the motivation the way that you would, I guess, in like an origin episode or something like that, right? So I'm just looking at his behavior mostly, and the way he was behaving was very cool, calm, and collected, even when he's on his way to Carlos's house because he knows his son is about to get set on fucking fire. He's so calm, and he's just like, yeah, well, that's how it's happening. Like, it's
not a calm, it's a focus. It's a get the job done in order to protect. The only person in that scenario...
Ravenclaws I know that I'm relating him to that I can't say because we haven't sorted him on the show yet.
The only person that is not able to think that way is a Gryffindor. In that scenario where you're just like, no, I need to, like, people that I love are in danger. I need to focus and stay in focus and get it done. Like, I'm able to do that. Slytherins are able to do that. I'm guessing you think Ravenclaws are able to do that. So,
focus? Are you saying Gryffindors can't focus on things?
No, I'm just saying, like, without completely filtering out everything else and just staying like on target and staying calm in that scenario.
Okay, he just struck me as very Ravenclaw. That's all. It's a vibe.
Like I said, Rachel wasn't having this because she was like, he was too calm. And I was like, I wasn't reading him as calm at any point. I saw him in shock. I saw him really freaked out and internalizing it. I saw him obsessing, which I just think is another word for passionate, but it's more inward. So I was like, I don't know.
Okay, so here's the two things. Right off the bat with Owen, the first thing that we learn about him pretty much is that he has lung cancer. Mm-hmm. And then he up and moves himself and TK to Tennessee, not to Tennessee, I'm in Tennessee, to Texas, and doesn't tell him.
Doesn't tell TK at all.
That he has
cancer.
That he has cancer.
Okay, need to know.
Despite moving across the country, and remember how I said earlier how he was like perfectly picked of you are the chosen one to come and rescue the firehouse that is now.
So that's a whole other situation that we can talk about. But so the first person and the only person that he really tells is Judd, oddly enough. But when TK does find out, and when TK finds out that like other people knew and Owen didn't tell him, TK says, and I just rewatched this. So TK says, "What? You didn't think you could tell me? You think I'm that weak that I wouldn't have been able to handle it?" And Owen says, "No, I didn't tell you because I'm weak." And I feel like that turning it on yourself very like myopic thing is Slytherin. And then also when we find out that
I don't know that they'd admit it.
What?
I don't know that they'd admit it.
To people in their circle?
He's into like shock.
You were the one who said he didn't even love his son before. Shut up.
No, I changed my mind because I cheated. So I didn't say he didn't love him.
She cheated. This is the only reason. Like, I wasn't going to out you, but congratulations, you did to yourself. She looked up the wiki. She looked up the wiki. She was
I
on the
being
Ravenclaw
really
train with me
fucking
for a
pissed at you.
second.
No,
she
I wasn't.
I'll fucking screen
No, I
cap
wasn't.
it. You went, never mind, he's a Ravenclaw. He didn't even think about his son. I'll
and
quote
then
it,
you
I'll
kept
cap
fucking
it, I'll put it up right now.
You kept fucking arguing. You dug your own hole, and I was like,
I
no,
didn't dig
never mind.
shit. You still didn't convince me.
Wait, so you're saying that
I don't care being out there in the world wrong.
the not thinking about his son makes him Ravenclaw?
That's what Lauren was saying.
No, that is not what I was saying.
Because my second argument was that when he found out that TK's mom was pregnant, why can't I remember? Oh, Gwen. When Gwen found out she was pregnant, what he was talking to TK about, like, finally having his last lung cancer surgery or whatever, and TK's like, oh, what lit the fire under your ass? And he's like, oh, well, I'm going to be a dad. I'm going to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
To TK, to his son. He said, I'm going to be a father.
Seems a little tone deaf and maybe like he wasn't reading the room, which again, I feel like Slytherins can be hyper aware of shit like that, especially with people in their circle.
That's just him
He was
being
being
selfish.
self-centered. He was being self-centered.
That was him thinking
I'm
only
trying
about
not to insult
himself.
Ravenclaws with Illy here, but Ravenclaws can be that way.
Oh, I'm
they're just
very
constantly-
self-centered. I'm not insulted at all.
Okay, great.
So that's what I mean, where like you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about how the other person's going to feel all the time because you very much internalize stuff too. So just
I don't
Listen,
think that I'm
I
going to be
got
able
what,
to
like-
make this call.
40 minutes of this guy probably total, and just his vibe was he was just so weird to me. Like, I don't know, he was just so interesting, and I don't have a Slytherin I could compare him to, I don't think.
Does it hurt
What?
for your vibes to be so off?
No,
Okay, so
not at all.
we're going
My
to
vibes are on
reference-
point as always.
we're going to reference what's currently happening as we speak right now in
Okay.
episodes. So,
Yeah, if I saw more, you could probably turn me.
this is Owen's
Roll your eyes at your fucking
Slytherin
shit.
She's turned right now. I don't know.
stubborn streak coming out.
I'm really not. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not.
because you're digging your heels. You're not even listening.
So,
I'm sitting here aptly listening to all of you.
Yeah,
kid.
and you're
Are you
going,
kidding?
oh, this Slytherin thing that you've just listed, I can turn it into a Ravenclaw.
you're
thing."
listening so well. You just keep cutting everybody off. It's fine.
I'm only cutting you off, Hailee. Go ahead.
So, Owen, or the 126 was blown up, and just for budget cut reasons, Billy is now in a position of power and has decided that they don't have the money to put the 126 back together.
Mhm.
And so Owen, being Owen, decided that his response to Billy, he's like, but you aren't currently acting deputy chief now yet, are you? Like, the paperwork hasn't gone through? And he's like, no. And so Owen punches him.
Because
Like, that's how season 2 ends.
That's how.
Oh, I already know. Lauren sent me this whole wiki, and then he's like, I'm not sorry about punching him.
Yeah, no, he's not sorry.
Yeah.
And so right now, the reason why he hasn't been reinstated as official captain after his suspension is because he refuses to sign a paper saying that he apologizes for punching Billy.
Right. Okay. So you're saying the stubbornness speaks to Slytherin.
Yes. In this instance, yes, it does.
I'm sorry, your argument didn't hit that well because Lauren already spoiled it and sent me the whole fucking wiki.
Yeah,
so
and
I
she's
knew
already
what you-
deciding that she's going to turn it into a Ravenclaw thing. I say,
No,
well,
I'm not
Ravenclaws
turning into
could do
Ravenclaw
that
thing.
too.
I just don't think it's intrinsically Slytherin to be like.
It is intrinsically
No.
Slytherin to dig your heels in on something that is personal to you and in a way that kind of fucks over everybody else. Because you're like,
gonna say
I'm
I'm just flipping it to whatever, but I told you in on Twitter when we were talking, it's also a Gryffindor
yeah,
thing.
but you're not going to hurt the people around you as a Gryffindor. Dean's not going to hurt Sam by doing his own fucking shit. Like, he's going to be really upset about it. Slytherins are like, I'm going to fucking fight through this and punch through it until everybody
So
realizes
who's
that
he
I'm
hurting
right.
by not signing it?
The
The
entire
entire fire
126.
station.
They
They
can't.
Because
don't
they
get
need
a
him-
station. Yeah, they need him to sign it.
Well, because he's not joining the fight, right? So they feel like they're fighting for their house to come back, and he ran away to a cabin in the woods.
He ran away.
He
Yeah.
ran away to a cabin
He
in
just
the
up
woods.
and left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I tend to think a Ravenclaw's the only one who could go ditch their fucking tribe and leave. But okay, I'm
sorry, I'm not saying
I
it the way
will
you guys
say
are saying
that
it.
that is a thing I would do.
Yeah, I Just not seeing it through the same lens you guys are seeing it through, which I'm cool with. You're all pissy, but, you can be pissy.
I don't know. I don't think I can see Ravenclaw. Like,
that's fine.
I don't know that I don't know how. Because I don't know. It's too weird to overanalyze your own self.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know. Well, like, to me, that's like my forte. Like, that's what that's what I do. So it can be hard for me to see other houses sometimes because, like, I can clock a Gryffindor no problem, but sometimes with other houses, especially, it's usually Hufflepuffs that give me the problem.
Yeah, which is why you won't agree on Carlos. It's fine.
No, you're just wrong.
No.
You're just wrong. He's not a Hufflepuff. Where's his community, Hailee? Where's his people?
We don't know enough about him to have one yet.
Oh, so blame the writer's room and not analyzing the content you've been given. Okay.
Wait, but I was so ready to, like, have the argument for Owen that I was having with Hailee, which was the Gryffindor versus Slytherin. I'm so...
Did you think we were going to give him Gryffindor?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to argue that because I didn't care enough. I was just like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, he's kind of a weird one.
He is a weird one.
I find him to be a little bit strange. I don't know. I obviously can't put myself in his shoes, so it's hard for me to immediately understand any, like, of the things he does because he does everything so different than how I would do it. So I definitely didn't put him in Gryffindor. I said Logic House for sure, but I guess just watching his behavior in the episode, his demeanor, the way he speaks, the way he holds himself, I was like, oh, that's clearly a Ravenclaw. But sure, with other things that you've said from past episodes and stuff, learning more about his motivations, I can see how someone would put him in Slytherin too.
I don't know, because now I'm thinking, and now I feel like I'm switching to your side. Okay, Hailee, would he, if he was a Slytherin, would he have done what he did for Mateo?
Yes.
Yes.
I know what it was.
Yes.
Oh. What did he do for Mateo?
He let him move into his house immediately after TK left.
Not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, yes, that too.
That too. I don't know what you're talking about, but it fits my argument.
So he, okay, let's backtrack. First episode, we find out, because Hailee was alluding to this, like why he was rebuilding the house. So the 126 was Judd's house, and there was an accident, and his entire team was killed in an explosion except Judd. And so they were looking to bring someone in to revitalize this house.
Chosen one.
What?
He was the chosen one that got brought in because he was the only one that could do it.
But the reason he was the only one that they thought could do it was because he lost, like, most or all of his house in 9/11. So he was, like, the sole survivor of his house at that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's rebuilt a firehouse from scratch before.
Okay.
So they came to him and they were like, well, because the Department of Justice got involved because they wanted a more diverse firehouse as well. And his first reaction was, if you wanted a diverse house, why are you hiring a white guy? And so he turned them down. But yeah, so when he gets there, he finally agrees to it. He gets there and he's starting to build his house, and he sees Mateo. And Mateo was not a firefighter yet. He had passed all of the physical requirements, but he was repeatedly failing the written test. It was like his third strike, like fourth time was the last opportunity he would ever have, kind of thing. But he saw Mateo's work ethic because the chief guy or whatever had hired him as like his assistant and his driver. So he was cleaning his car and he was like cleaning the underside of the door handle. And so Owen was like, why are you cleaning that? Like, no one would see that.
You're just telling them what Mateo's house is right now.
Okay, I'm digressing. But anyway, so he like Owen rallied the house. Remember, I'm arguing for you now, Rachel.
I'm just listening. I'm interested.
So Owen like got them to give Mateo another chance, and then rallied the house to get behind Mateo and figure out that like he was dyslexic, and
that wasn't Owen though.
Yes,
Owen
it was.
said,
No, Owen just told Marjan, help him. You're the best at studying. Help him.
Yeah, it's called
So he gave
delegating.
him a job and very Ravenclaw.
And then Marjan was the
Figured
one
out.
that figured out how to rally the house.
Yes, but we're not sorting Marshawn right now.
Yeah, but you were saying that Owen was the one that rallied the house. Owen didn't say that. Owen just said, hey, you're the best at studying. make him pass
He
his
told
test.
someone to do his job.
Delegated
to get the job done. He's delegated like a Ravenclaw would do.
Anyone can delegate.
Out. Okay, see, I'm not allowed to say that tonight, so neither are you.
I don't know. I was just saying that one aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel's using something that earlier she went, that's not just a Ravenclaw thing to say it's a Ravenclaw, because earlier I was using that as a point that is not what she was saying.
No one knows what the fuck you just said.
Yeah, because earlier you were like...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking when we were talking about what Owen was doing in the episode we saw, where you were like, Ravenclaw, he reminds me of this person. And I was like, no, because that person does this and does the delegating. And Owen went off and did it all on his own. And you were like, well, that's not just a Ravenclaw. That's not a Slytherin thing.
But I don't think that he just went off and did, you can have a discussion and like change what you're saying as you're going through it, and I don't have to.
Yes, it's called hypocrisy.
No, it's not. It's called having a discussion and like learning from another person or listening to another person. I understand you have a fucking problem with that because when you have an opinion, that's it. It's the law. But what I'm saying is, when we're having a discussion. Okay, it's a TV show, and we're talking about what happened on the TV show, and I'm telling you how I viewed his behavior and actions on the TV show. And I went, okay, he masterminded this whole thing. And you're like, well, that's a Slytherin thing, but the way he did it. Okay, fine. And then you're telling me delegating tasks is a Ravenclaw thing. Well, he delegated tasks, and he masterminded everything. So he had his hands in fucking all of it. And he was getting people who were the best at their job to do their job, to get what he needed as an end result. Which reminded me of the character that.
But he's manipulative in the way that he does it.
Okay, well, one, an end result would be a Slytherin thing. Second of all, I said delegating tasks at the get-go is a Ravenclaw thing. I said Slytherins take it as far as they can before they need other people, and then they get those other people to do exactly what they need. Which also sounds like what happened in Illy's case.
He has to be a good delegator in the fact that he's the fire captain. Like, he has to be able to say, like,
Bark.
These people do.
I heard the dog.
These people go do this because he's a fire captain. Like, you have to be good at delegation.
Also, the more I'm thinking about this, the more that you're comparing Owen to this person, I don't know why you don't think that he is much more like Veronica Mars, because I see that in him a lot more.
I don't see that.
I definitely see that.
No, I wouldn't make that. I don't know. You'd have to tell me why.
Right now?
Yeah, we're having the discussion. Yeah, like you made the comment.
Yeah, for every single reason. Because Veronica, again, it can also be a delegator, but she takes things as far as she can. But she also knows when she immediately can't.
He's not.
No, but listen. Veronica knows when she immediately cannot do something, right? She's friends with Wallace and Mac, and Wallace is much better with people, so she immediately is like, you go talk to people because I'm not great at that. And Mac is the technology person, so she's like, you go do the computer stuff because I'm not good at that. So she knows right off the bat what she cannot do. Ravenclaws aren't out there like, I cannot do this. They're like, I shouldn't have to do this because you can do it.
I don't think that's true all the time, that I shouldn't have to do this.
That's mostly what they feel like, because they're like, I have more important things to focus on and more skills that I am best at.
But I think that that's what Owen was doing when he was privately investigating the problem, and then he went to them and went, now do your fucking part of it. I did my part.
He took it as far as he could. He didn't immediately go, I don't feel like skulking around a warehouse and looking at these charges.
Why doesn't solve the mystery?
No, he was doing what he could before going to anybody else. He was doing every single thing that he could so he could come to people with all this evidence and go, this is why you should help me because I've done this, 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 and this. He's not being like a Ravenclaw, like, I shouldn't have to do this because it's your job and this is a waste of my time when I could be doing better things. Or I could be doing things that I am better at.
I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree that that's all like how a Ravenclaw innately acts, though.
Hi, I have another example.
I said last episode that Ravenclaws are a jack of all trades and a master of none, but they are very good at some specific things, and I think they prefer to focus on those specific things that they are very good at.
Right, and even for him, it's investigating an arson in this case.
That is not, but that's not something that he's very specifically good at. He's a firefighter. He was taking
Lauren,
things.
he figured out what all these fires were.
Rachel, I'm not saying that one of his special skills is investigating arson. That's not what he is as a person. He was taking it as far as he could to get, yes, so you're trying to make the argument that his special skill was investigating arson, and that's why he did it.
No, I'm saying that he's very good at all things fire. This is fire.
No, that's not how it works. That's not.
Why is it not? This is what the topic is about. He figured out that there were arsons.
Because you are a firefighter does not mean that you can investigate.
No, but because
arson.
you're Owen, it does.
No, but that's not an argument at all. You're
How is it not an argument that Owen was good at sussing this
out of thin air, out of nothing, that he is a master at doing it instead of just being the person who was doing it?
Lauren, why was no one else picking up on it?
What?
Why was no one else picking up on the fact that these were arsons?
Because the person he reported to was the bad guy. And the ranger knew about it.
That doesn't
the ranger suspected it.
But the ranger thought it was somebody in... Right, the ranger thought it was somebody in the fire department, correct?
Yeah, who the arson inspector is the bad guy that is the one that was setting the fires. Yeah. He was the arson inspector.
I know.
Yeah. And so he is part of the fire department.
I know. But I'm saying that Owen was really, really good at figuring this out, whereas other people weren't.
What I am saying is that Ravenclaws are very good at things, and they know what they are good at, and they do those things right off the bat and delegate the things that they don't really want to spend the time on or aren't as good at to everybody else. Owen wouldn't know that he is an amazing arson investigator, having never done it before.
But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying his skill and his understanding of the way that all of these things work. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you what was an arson and what was...
Okay, just because he's a firefighter doesn't mean that he is a really good at investigating.
Hailee has an argument, and then so do I.
I have two. Okay, so one from the episode that you actually watched, not the fire one, the other one. Let's go back. Okay, so we already talked about how Ravenclaws don't lie and don't lie very well. If they are lying, then it's very hard to get that past them. So there is an instance where, for a very long time, Owen is lying to TK about the fact that he and Gwen are separated, and TK is a dumbass and doesn't pick up on it. Mm-hmm. And then there's a whole nother part where he lies to both Gwen and Carlos whenever he gets the phone call and calls the captain, and it's like, oh yeah, cool. And it's like, yeah, he's fine. They're just still out on the call. It's no big deal. And then he gets in the car and it's just like, actually, it's a really big deal. And so he's sitting there and he's lying and he's manipulating the situation and everything like that.
And if you had given me those episodes, I may have come to that conclusion.
No, you did watch that episode. That was the episode that you watched. That was in
he's lying to all of them all the time? About what? He lied about where he was on the highway. And then he immediately went and told the father.
He also, when he is calling for TK and he's not answering the phone, he lies to the people in the house and says, it's all fine, it's okay. And then they leave the house and Carlos is like, oh, I'm really glad everything's okay. And he's like,
Lauren, the person that I compared him to before does that all the time on the show. Like all the time.
And then
no.
Okay, sorry.
No, they don't.
I have a season 1 example too. Sorry, but go ahead, Illy, with your question.
Because I'm gonna say something in an episode that you watched, and I don't know which way this makes him lean, if any. I was surprised that we found out that when Owen found out that the baby wasn't his, that he still wanted Gwen to stay. I feel like that's very telling of his personality, and I don't know which house that indicates. So discuss.
It really depends on the context, I think. I was just watching another show where this happened and the character is a completely different house than...
I think...
He's not a logic house.
Still... For me, it still points to Slytherin in the fact that she's his circle and she wants him to stay, or he wants her to stay in his circle and not lose her again.
Yeah, but then she just leaves and he's like, okay, go.
Actually, he smashes a bowl.
He smashes a bowl.
Which is the angriest that we've...
But in the episode that we...
No, he refused to smash this bowl the entire time. Like, he found out that it was her ex's, kintsugi bowl, one of those.
Right, so he's angry about it. But from what I saw, Gwen was like, no, he was, really cool about it. And he's just letting me go.
Yeah, but she doesn't know.
So that actually was another reason I went with Ravenclaw, was that conversation, that he was so... cool about it.
Oh no, he smashes a bowl. He gets really mad. And another point from season 1 is he gets mad on behalf of Liv Tyler and then drunkenly attacks somebody and then she comes back and is like,
Ellie's
no.
Like, what episode is that?
Season 1.
Making Slytherin House look real bad.
No. He drunkenly is just like, why do you not like her and anything like this, and like punches him and then throws up on his porch.
He likes to punch people, huh?
And
what's his problem?
And then Liv Tyler comes in and is just like, why did you do that? He has a restraining order against me. And he's just like, well, that would have been good information to know.
I wish things would stop screaming Gryffindor at me, because Hailee, I see how you got to Gryffindor before too. Because there are certain things where I'm like, that's a Gryffindor temper, but it can be Slytherin too. It just depends. It completely depends on the context and the motivation behind the decision. Like, why is he throwing the punch exactly?
He was drunk and stupid and taking it out based on his own issues.
Like, I would need to watch more of the show of, and then come to it myself and like see it on my own. Because right now in my brain, I'm inclined towards Ravenclaw, but I'm hearing how if I watch more of it,
doesn't he get drunk and sad when TK moves out with Mateo? Don't they get drunk together?
Yes, they get very drunk together. And they try to have an intervention with him to tell him that he is depressed. And he's like, I refuse to accept the fact that you think that I am depressed.
Did any of this factor into your original Gryffindor decision?
I told you, I was going in here with no notes, just vibes.
No, I know, but was your vibe affected by those kinds of things? Like,
possibly, I don't know.
Not willing to admit.
I just kind of was just like, I could see it, good enough, and went with it because I didn't care.
Okay, so you just like really don't care, and
I just.
Why are you fighting so damn
he's not
hard
a Ravenclaw.
now? Damn,
he's not a Ravenclaw, and he's not a Hufflepuff.
No, I don't.
I think we're absolutely sure he's not a Hufflepuff.
Very much a logic house. Very much.
Then why are you arguing for Gryffindor now?
No, I'm saying I see how you got there with certain episodes that I haven't seen. Like, I can see why you would have thought that, because there are certain things you're telling me that I didn't see where I'm like, oh, that sounds like... Okay,
well, then in that case, you know what happens whenever you push a Gryffindor and a Ravenclaw and you smush them together? You get a Slytherin!
Yeah, that's true.
You made me.
Yeah, you guys might be right. Might be a Slytherin. I need to see more. I'll give it to you. I'll concede it to you if it'll make everyone feel better, because y'all are very upset. So you can have it.
So you guys want to do some of the women next time?
I would love that, because they were really, really interesting.
Do we want to do 6 people speed sort? Because it's hard to like break them up because they're all very intertwined together.
Yeah, because like if we're doing it based on like how we can make you watch episodes to learn most about them, then I feel like it would have to be like Judd and Grace, and then like Mateo, Marjan, and Paul.
Judd, Grace, and Tommy can go together.
Judd, Grace, and Tommy can go together, and then
is Judd Hoyt?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Hoyt.
And then
Super said Tommy's husband died. He was hot.
We don't talk about Charles.
Oh, what was wrong with Charles?
No, we love Charles. That's
you didn't see the end of the episode where he had a stroke and she came home and he was dead in the chair?
You said Tommy's husband. Is her name Tommy?
Yes.
Pay attention.
I thought her name was Nancy.
No, Gina Torres.
No, that's the younger lady.
Gina Torres is Tommy.
I didn't have to learn their names for this. I don't know.
So we could do Grud, Judd, Grace, and Tommy, because then you get Grace and Tommy.
I really liked them.
Yes.
I really enjoyed them.
We can we could side sort Nancy if we know more about her by then.
We can speed sort them.
Well, and if we speed sort, then it's going to be like 7 characters.
That's all vibes, though, baby.
Because that would be
it's all vibes.
That would be Judd, Grace, Tommy, Mateo, Paul, Marjan, and then Illy will make me include Nancy. So that's 7.
Well, because we can't literally sort everybody but Nancy.
But we don't know anything about Nancy.
I kind of understand your reaction from before now more, Hailee. Like, because I thought Nancy was the other lady, and I was like, damn, she was cool. What's your problem? But now I know it's the other one, and I really didn't.
No, we don't know a ton about her. I mean, technically, we could probably sort Tim too.
No, we are not doing Tim. Oh my god, he was a fucking ghost.
All right. Well, these are business decisions that we can we'll figure it out later. But it would be fun. I think speed sorting could be fun. Do it kind of naturally sometimes anyway. Like, why not do it in a more organized fashion? I feel like this was a little bit of a speed sorting because I'm used to getting 3 episodes, I think.
You wouldn't let us do 3.
No, we
Me?
usually get 2 shit sorting.
We
did 2 for
Didn't
Hannibal.
We get 911. We got 3 last time.
Yeah, because they forced me to do 3. We did 2 for Hannibal. We did 2 for
Outlander.
Outlander.
Oh, well, Lauren,
yeah.
Hannibal, you could have given anything. It would have been mess. But yeah, okay. Well, I just felt like it was very, very fast, and I latched onto this idea of this dude as a Ravenclaw. It's hard for me to let it go. It is. I really believed it.
I feel like we should revisit that. Like, if we do another episode, when we make you watch more episodes, like, I'm curious if you continue on that path.
Yeah, well,
she
I
will
change my
forever
mind all the
because
time.
she'll watch.
I do. Just know how to talk to me, and you'll get the result you want.
Tell me I'm pretty, and I'll change my mind.
No, just don't be mean.
Nobody's being mean to you.
You're always mean to me.
Correcting your mistakes is not being mean to you.
No. Flat out, you called me stupid. You're done. You're done.
You called me stupid.
As a comeback. It's fine. We're past it.
I love how
No
we
need to
came into
apologize.
this episode saying
I
like,
won't.
yeah, no,
I wouldn't be
it's
stupid enough
fine,
to ask you
we're
for one.
cool, no one's gonna argue, and then this is the most we have ever argued on any of the episodes.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I don't think anyone really cares about him that much.
Owen was your favorite.
No, but you guys don't really care about him that much.
Owen
I
was your
loved Owen.
favorite? That's gross. I'm
I
sorry.
know, I'm only talking to Hailee and Illy. I'm sorry, you can't see what I'm looking at.
Owen was your favorite.
You guys don't care
How
about
is
Owen.
Owen your favorite?
I just really liked him.
That's gross. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't
know how TK can be your favorite. I'm sorry. He was extremely boring. He's just a pretty face. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing.
Grace is my favorite.
Grace is the best character in the show.
Okay, that I can get behind that. I can't get behind TK. I'm sorry.
No, because like I said, like I feel like both TK and Carlos need to exist together, which is why I'm struggling with the current breakup.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't really like any scenes where they were alone. I was like, okay. And I don't know. I don't know if it's like the lines they're given, the way they're delivering them. They were very soft spoken a lot of the time, and I was like, I need more from you. I need more.
Yeah, it's really weird. I know that like the Eddie and Buck of OG is not relatable relationship wise currently. But it's interesting because
I like that one way more.
Well, because they are like whole people without each other.
Yeah.
So with TK and Carlos, like they literally got together in the first or second
episode.
Oh, really?
Second episode.
No, like build.
No,
it literally like
wasn't TK. How long between TK not being engaged to this man and moving to Texas and meeting Carlos?
At first it was a hookup with Carlos.
Oh yeah.
So it was immediate rebound.
Yes.
They're both Gryffindors. Hailee, what do you? And they immediately he rebounded into.
Carlos didn't know. Carlos did not know he was a rebound.
TK rebounded into sex, and then they immediately got together like it was a hookup, and then he was like, "Now it's just a relationship."
I don't know if it wasn't. It wasn't immediate in that way. Because honestly, so they hooked up.
What? The episode is an hour and 40 minutes. Thank you for joining us. We're going to continue talking about this. But when we come back with Hailee and Illy, I guess we're speed sorting. It's up to them, however long they want to drag this out. I mean, if they want to do multiple episodes, they should speed sort, is all I'm saying. If they want to continue on the show, maybe they want to move on to other shows. I don't know. Maybe Illy wants to be here without Hailee. I don't know. In a different show. Hailee was like, what?
I'll just
Hailee,
sort
you were
Nancy.
here without Illy.
No, I was about to say I've already recruited myself for True Blood.
Okay. That did happen.
I'll fight you on Eric, Hailee. Be
yeah.
Do not know.
I know what Eric is. He's not hard.
I had his face on my titties for many years. I had lots of Eric Northman
As a
shirts.
tattoo. She got it lasered off.
I wouldn't take that off my skin.
I literally had to look up. Oh my God. So the episode after this is my birthday episode, which we're recording this in January and my birthday's in March. But that is the next episode. So prepare for The Good Place unless Rachel and I decide we don't have enough time to rewatch it. And then I'm probably going to make her do something else. I had something else that I was
when
like,
are y'all going, New Girl? That's what I'm currently finishing my binge.
The summer.
It's late. It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like in June or July. Damn it! I had a thought that I was like, if we don't have time to watch The Good Place, maybe Frozen. Maybe we could do Frozen if we don't have time to watch The Good Place.
I thought you didn't want to do any of the new Disney movies before the classics.
No, I said I didn't want to do Encanto before we do any classic, and I consider Frozen classic now because it's from 2013.
Frozen's not classic.
Frozen is not classic.
About a decade ago, it's got a Broadway
It's
show.
not a classic. It's got to be at least from the 90s. Come on now.
Anyway.
Early 2000s.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed all our Friends episodes. We haven't heard them yet. See you next time.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you for listening to Sort of Brilliant. If our sorting choices inspired any rage or excitement, we'd love to hear from you. We're open to feedback, suggestions for characters to sort, and solid counter-arguments with citations.
Never forget your citations. You can find us hanging out on Twitter and Instagram at SOB_pod or shoot us an email at sortofbrilliant@gmail.com.
And since we're not above begging, please rate and subscribe to Sort of Brilliant on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please share our posts on social media. And if you're a Gryffindor, maybe you'll inspire sorting fights among your own friend group.
The theme music is Hot Shot by Scott Holmes. Can't wait to sort with you again next time. Bye!